over 15,000 Spring Chinook have crossed over Lower Granite Dam, and that means the Clearwater River is becoming prime time to get out there and catch some of these amazingly tasty, elusive Spring Chinook. And when I say elusive Spring Chinook, yeah, there's 15,000 over the dam, but Spring Chinook are a fast-moving fish trying to get up to their spawning grounds, and some days they can be very finicky, and some days you could be hot right on top of them all day long. And so we're going to go over 2 hyper-effective ways that you can target these Spring Chinook up there around those areas. Welcome back to another Walking on Water fishing tutorial. Let's get right into it. If you haven't already noticed, right in front of me, we have a K15 quick fish and we have a 4.5 mag lip. And these are going to be some of the prime examples that we are going to utilize up there on that beautiful river system to catch some of these amazing fish. And we're going to pair that with none other than a jumbo jet diver. And we're going to talk exactly how to set up this together in unison so you can be hyper successful on the water catching some of those Spring Chinook. So I have in my possession, I have 2 10-foot salmon rods. They are Okuma SSTs paired with a D 103 or 203 reel, Okuma cold water reel. I have 50-pound spider wire braid on my line. And let's get into the meat and potatoes and actually set up this. We're going to show you how to wrap the tuna on there and everything on these beautiful baits right here. And as well as the quick fish right here. They are hyper similar. And so they fish as well. As we're going to talk about tuning, how you want your diver set up. And we're going to do that right now. So we're going to grab our rod. I love using bead chains. Bead chains are king. And I know this does not spin in the water. It moves back and forth. And so we don't really have to worry about a lot of line twists, but I'm still going to take the extra precaution and we're going to utilize a VIP line lock, right? So if you pull the jumbo jet diver out of the bag, it actually comes already rigged up. Now you want anywhere from a 6 to 10 inch dropper on these jumbo jet divers like this one right here. And the reason because of that is you want this on your line like this. And so this is diving down into the water like so, okay? It's hitting the bottom, diving. And this is pulling along like this. So your line still has a little bit of length to it. So it's not sitting right there on the bottom. If you attach your line all the way down here, then your lure, like the quick fish or the mag lip that already dives, you're not going to have that separation from the bottom to the actual lure itself. So you want this up off the bottom just a tiny bit, and having this 6 to 10 inch dropper on here like this is going to allow you to do so. So what we're going to do is we're just going to clip this right here. This is great. I can show you a method if you don't have a VIP line lock after we set this up on how to use just a barrel swivel like this one right here. So we're going to simply grab our VIP line lock, and we're going to go ahead and throw a fisherman's knot right through here, wet it on down, and then suck it down tight, just like so. Now we have about 6 to 8 inches there, which is perfect. That's fine for me. And then we are going to go ahead and clip the tag in, because you should always clip your tag ends, okay? So that's how we have our jumbo jet diver set up. If you see these 3 holes, this jumbo jet diver will dive up to 50 feet deep. You can adjust that at the angle in which it dives by adjusting where you want your duo lock snap. And I'm going to opt in to use the sharp angle because where we're fishing is above 20 feet deep. And with that being said, when you go to deploy a jumbo jet like this one right here, a good rule of thumb is you're going to let out double the line of the depth that you're aiming for. Obviously, if it's 50 feet deep, you're going to let out 100. If it's 25 feet deep, you're going to let out 50. If it's 10 feet deep, I wouldn't use a jumbo jet, but you would let it, if it's 10 feet deep, you'd let out 20. So that's how you initially set up. For me, I use a VIP line lock down to a 6-bead bead chain and about a 6 to 10 inch leader down to your jumbo jet, just like this right here. Okay. Now, the alternative setup would be if you have your barrel swivel, you don't have a VIP line lock, you're just going to grab a big bead like this one right here. You're going to grab your barrel swivel. You're going to reattach your dropper to your barrel swivel. You're going to slide the barrel swivel up the line. Then you're going to put your bead on, and then you're going to tie another barrel swivel right here or a bead chain, and then it doesn't pass the bead right here where you tie on your other barrel swivel or a bead chain like this one right here. So super simple, super easy. This with the VIP line lock just allows you to mitigate all of the line twists you could possibly come into contact with. Otherwise, using the bead and the barrel swivel is perfectly fine as well. Next, we're gonna grab our 30-pound fluorocarbon leader. I like using fluorocarbon for all my leaders, and the P-line salmon steelhead is a perfect line to pair with these quick fish, as well as these 4.5 mag lips. And I know there's Brad's killer fish out there. I haven't fished a lot of them, so I'm not gonna talk about those, but these two that we are gonna utilize, the 30-pound fluorocarbon is a very good pairing with it. And the goal here, we are gonna grab our tape measure right here, and we're gonna measure the desk, okay? We have 3 feet out here. So we're simply just gonna go, we're looking for anywhere in between 4 and 5 feet of line out for these quick fish or the mag lips. I'm gonna grab a duo lock snap just like this one right here. And we're simply just going to tie 2 duo lock snaps on the end of each one of these 4 to 5 foot leaders. Now you can opt in to run a bead chain and then a duo lock snap. That's perfectly fine. Or you can just do it without it. Both work. Then we're gonna grab, after we attach our mag lip, and then we are just gonna grab our main line like so. And we're gonna hook it up to our bead chain. So now we have our jumbo jet attached to a 6 to 10 inch dropper down to a bead chain on a VIP line lock. We have a 4 foot leader, okay, 4 foot leader or 5 foot. And we have a 4.5 mag lip like this one right here. Now, I'm gonna simulate how I attach my tuna. I have 3 things of tuna made up, different kinds of tuna, and I don't wanna pull it out of the refrigerator because it's brining and I just started it and we're getting ready to leave here. And so I'm not gonna actually pull the tuna out, but I will simulate exactly how I go ahead and put my tuna on, okay? Here's a miniature hoochie right here, walking on water hybrid hoochie, and this is going to be our tuna, okay? If you've never seen this before, this is magic thread, okay? And this is an elastic thread that we are gonna utilize to tie or secure our tuna to the actual mag lip or the quick fish or the Brad's killer fish. And so we're simply just going to grab right here. I like putting the top hook up here so then you have an open face. I always put all my tuna behind the eye that holds the top hook, okay? I don't really on these mag lips ever put tuna up in front of here because this thing does dive down and this nose on it is what gives it its motion. So you don't really want to hinder how that's working or your tuning may be off of this mag lip, okay? And so you just want to freaking pull the hook up top, set your tuna on there. You're going to pinch your tuna out and you're going to push it onto your mag lip. And if you can't see right here, you see that chrome area? You see how there's green on both sides and there's that chrome area? My goal is just to fill that chrome area, okay? So we put our tuna on there and then I'm gonna grab that just like that. And then we're gonna grab our magic yarn, okay? And we're gonna slide it right up to the top there and we're gonna pinch it down. Then we are just going to work our wraps around, around. You're just gonna keep wrapping all the way up to that eye, just like so, okay? Gonna keep wrapping. And then what you can do is, while you're holding this hook, you can squeeze the sides of the tuna right here, and you can adjust it back up into that chrome space so you're filling that chrome, okay? Then you're gonna let it dangle, right? So I hold it like this, okay? I go around my finger, right there, just like that. And I just slide the magic yarn through one time. And then I pull tight. And then you just pull it off just like that. So you put one little half hitch in there at the end. And now you have your tuna all tied in to the bottom of this maglet 4.5. And you're simply just going to start letting your line out. When you let your line out, you're gonna float this downriver as well as your mag lip downriver until you are double on your line counter, double the length of the depth that you are fishing. So if you're at 25 feet, you're going to let out 50 feet. You're going to click it. You're going to put it in the rod holder. You're going to watch that thing work. And this is how you will be successful with mag lips and quick fish up there on that beautiful Clearwater River. Okay. So now that we've got the first setup out of the way, let's move straight into the second setup. And we're going to make this super quick and super easy as well. Let's get one thing straight right off the bat. I know 50 people are going to call me an absolute idiot for even making a video and showing you this. I am taking 2 of my sons fishing with me. I have 2 10-foot SST Okuma salmon rods that I do most of my salmon fishing with, and usually I'm going by myself. Now, we are in a fishery where you can utilize downriggers because it is 26 feet deep. It's not an extreme amount of current, and you're going to be anchored up. And so I don't have 4 salmon rods with 4 cold water reels on them. I just don't have that kind of money to go out and spend it. But I do have these 2 medium heavy steelhead rods with spinning reels on them. And I'm going to utilize these on my downriggers because I don't really need to worry about depth when I'm fishing with my downriggers because I can see the balls on my actual fish finder themselves. And so before you say you're a freaking idiot putting spinning reels and rods out, I fully comprehend that. This is just what I have, and I'm going to make the best out of the situation so we can run 4 rods and have that much better of a chance to be successful down there on the water. And since we're able to run the downriggers straight down and utilize a fishing method that way, the spinning reel will do just fine. Okay? So what we're going to set up, again, this is a medium heavy Okuma 2500 series reel on there. These are my steelhead rods. And we're just going to we're running the 40-pound Enforcer braid by Addicted. The first thing that we are going to do, we are going to utilize bead chain after bead chain with this setup just to avoid any line twists at all. Then we're going to utilize a bumper just like so. And these bumpers just so happen to be Cold Water Strong. You can see coldwaterstrong.com if you guys are interested in any types of bumpers or anything like that. Ken, he's a great fisherman and he's a great guy. And he makes these bumpers just like this one right here. And so we're going to utilize a bumper. Okay. And we're just going to attach the bumper. I like anywhere from 18 to 24 inches. Okay. We're just going to attach the bumper to the bead chain, our main line. Then we're going to grab a triangle flasher like this one right here. And if you haven't already guessed, we're leaning towards something along the lines of a herring rig. And that's what we're going to do right now. So we're just going to go ahead and attach this is a Yakima bait triangle flasher. We're going to attach the triangle flasher and we're going to run these on our downriggers down there just like so. So super simple, super easy. You got your bead chain down to your bumper, down to your triangle flasher, just like so. We are going to grab a herring helmet because the next setup that we're going to talk about is herring and how to set up for herring down there on the beautiful Clearwater River. For herring, I like to run anywhere from 36 to 42 inches a line, and that's what we're gonna do here today. So we're gonna go to 36, we're gonna go to 40, we're gonna go a little bit past, just like so. Simply just gonna do a non-slip mooching rig very quick. You just put the line down through the shaft, up through the eye, down through the shaft of the first hook. I like to leave it pretty short so I don't have to cut. And then I'm just gonna do 5 or 6 wraps around there. Beautiful. And then you're going to grab your line. You're going to go back down through the eye, just like so. And then you're just going to pull it tight. Okay. You have that hook on there beautifully. Then we're going to grab our second 2/0 hook right here. And we're going to go down through the eye, just like so, until you get down. And we're talking about a herring. So I like leaving about a 3-inch gap in there, just like so. Okay. And then you're going to pinch and you're just going to do another 6 wraps. And then you're going to put it back through. Super simple, super easy. We're right at 42-ish. Perfect. That is a double non-slip mooching rig with a 3-inch spacing for herring. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab our helmet right here. So there's a little hole in the bottom of this helmet. You're just going to slide the line down through that hole. We're going to push it until the line comes all the way back out. And then we're going to pull. And then you're going to find this top little hole right there in front of the hole you put the line into. And you're going to slide the line through that hole. Okay. And then you're going to pull it tight. Now you have the herring helmet actually on there. But the thing is, is it's just on there. It's straight on there. It slides up and down the line pretty easily. And I'm not a huge fan of that. So I opt in to do this. Okay. I pull the line back down the helmet like so. Okay. I pull the line back down and I put the line straight back through the hole that I fed the line through and out the other side, just like so. So it pulls all the way back through. Okay. Just like that. All the way back through the other side, and it actually removes the line from that top hole. And then I go up to the second hole, and then I go back down through the main hole, just like so. So yes, now you have it wrapped throughout there, but when you put that herring in there, and you pin it, you're actually gonna pin where the line is, and it's gonna provide a little bit more tension on that line. So when you pull back, this isn't just sucking all the way down, because when you have the current, right? When you have your herring in here and it's spinning in the water, that current is pulling this helmet down to the base of those hooks. So if you want to get the perfect roll for your herring with this helmet on there, you want it to be so you can stop the line anywhere you want. Maybe the perfect roll of tightness is right here where you have about an inch of gap in between the hook and the actual head of the helmet itself, right? So if you can't do that, there's no way to actually adjust the spin of the herring. It's just whatever the helmet is doing in that current. So you can't slow it down or speed it up unless you set it up this way. And that's why I opt in to set it up this way. Now, all we're going to do, we're going to grab a duo lock snap just like this one right here. Or you could run a 6-bead bead chain. That's perfectly fine as well. Now, super quick, I'm just going to simulate how we put the herring in. You're going to hold the helmet like this. This has the color on it, but you can see there's a curve on this side right here. There's a curve right here, and the point's right here, okay? So you're going to hold it up like this. You're going to stuff your herring in there. I like to pinch it with my thumbs, okay? Let's find something to be a herring. You're going to put your herring in there just like so. Pinch it with your fingers just like this. Right where that top line is right there, you're going to pop your pin in this side, and you're going to push it through the other side where that line is, okay? Now, when you pull on this line, it is tight. You can adjust your herring just like so, and you can tighten it back up just like that. Now, this is exactly the two setups that will help you be hyper successful on the water down there in that beautiful Clearwater River. Me and my sons, we're going to go down here this weekend, and we are super excited to put some of these methods to work. I hope a little bit of this helped you guys. It's always a learning curve when you're going to try out a new fishery, and if you haven't been down there before, it sure is a fun time. And so thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Walking on Water Fishing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the videos out, guys. Join the private fishing Facebook group, Walking on Water Fishing. God bless you. Catch you in the next one.